Hey kids, how are you today? This is Adam with Purdue Extension, and today we're going to talk about popcorn. Who there likes to eat popcorn? Anybody like popcorn? Raise your hand. All right, I'm sure there's a few of you there. So just going to run through some interesting facts today about growing popcorn, and at the end of the presentation we're actually going to have you guys plant your own popcorn seeds and watch them grow. So when you're going to plant popcorn seeds, it's very important to get them to the right depth and space them apart correctly. So we'll look at our ruler here that Mr. Farmer provided us, and actually you can plant popcorn anywhere from 1 to 2 inches deep. So a good measuring tool is your finger. So when you get ready to plant your seeds, you want to look at your first or second knuckle here on your finger, and you want to poke your seed into the soil about that deep to make sure you get proper depth. Now, if you're planting this seed out in your garden to grow, you would want to have about 8 inches between each seed in a row. So that would be about from here to here. That way that gives that plant plenty of room to spread out, take in sunlight, water, and all the nutrients that it needs. So in order for a seed to germinate, the soil actually needs to be about 60 degrees. So about the temperature it is outside this time of year, that's what temperature the soil needs to be. And then it takes about 7 to 10 days for popcorn to germinate. And once it germinates, it'll come up out of the ground and look like this. These guys have been in the ground about a week or so. And what we need to do, when you look at corn coming up out of the ground, just some interesting things. There's some parts that come up first. There's one called the coleoptile. That's a fun word to say. Can you guys say coleoptile? And then another fun part of the corn that comes up out of the ground, it's the first part that comes out of the seed, is called the mesocotyl. Can you say mesocotyl? Mesocotyl, those are fun words to say. So that's actually the first part of the seed that comes out of the soil when you plant it. And it's always important to keep the weeds pulled so they don't have competition. And actually, once you get this corn growing, it can get up to 8 feet tall. So I'm almost 6 feet, so another 2 foot taller than me is actually how tall corn can get. So that's pretty tall. And then also, I can't believe it, but it takes 18 to 24 inches of water every year to grow a popcorn plant. That is a lot of water to make sure it grows a nice ear of popcorn for us. And what we'll look at is harvest moisture. That's how much water is in a kernel. And it needs to be down to 16 to 20% when you run the combine. Everybody knows what this guy is, so you'll see this going out through the field. And the reason that we want to harvest it at 16 to 20% moisture is because as the plant goes through this corn head, it actually will hit the ear on these machine parts, and we don't want it to shell off of the ear. We want to make sure it gets into the bin so it can go to the mill. So once it gets to the processing plant, they'll dry it then down to 14% because they can handle it more carefully. And when that's done drying, they actually will run it through a cleaner and get rid of all the bad material and the junk that come in with it. And then it's kind of cool, they polish the seed so it looks nice and pretty before it heads off to the grocery store. And then once you get to the grocery store, you can find different products like microwave popcorn. There's the Jiffy Pop that you can put on your stove, or you can actually get pre-popped popcorn like this where you just open it up, eat it right out of the bag. So popcorn, what makes popcorn different than other corn? Popcorn is its own special type that actually, once the temperature inside the kernel reaches a very hot temperature, the moisture inside causes it to explode. And popcorn is very unique in that manner. Not all corn does that. So you'll find out at some other stations how much heat it actually takes to make a popcorn kernel explode. It's pretty impressive. So I think that's all I have. We'll actually move into a demonstration now. If you guys want to pause the video, get your kits that we brought to you, and we'll demonstrate how you guys can work with us and plant some popcorn seeds. Each class should have a kit that looks like this that has our cups and our soil and our seeds in it. So if you want to open that kit up, and hopefully your teacher can have 4 volunteers to help with this, because I've got 4 different cups that we can plant seeds in. Here, so you should have multiple seeds and multiple cups. And what you'll want to do is just take your cup, put a little bit of soil in it. You know, you don't have to fill it full, maybe 3/4 full or so. And you'll take a little seed and put it maybe right kind of towards the middle. And remember how far down we're supposed to poke that? What did I say? Somewhere in between our first and second knuckle. So you'll take your finger and just poke that seed right in there like so, and cover it up a little bit. And then give it a little drink of water, because seeds need water to grow. And let her sit in the sunlight in the, probably if you have a window ledge somewhere, put it in that window ledge. And then in a few days, you should start to see corn like this start to grow. So you'll see the roots in this example here. The roots are actually going down. I think the roots are longer than the stalk is tall. But in a few days, you'll start to see a little spike come up out of the soil. And then it'll just continue to grow, and you'll see your first true leaf actually here that came up first and unroll. And it'll just continue to grow. And you've got your own popcorn plant started. So I hope this has been a fun demonstration, and you guys can grow some popcorn. Now we're going to go out to an actual popcorn farm and see what commercial production of popcorn looks like. Hey everybody, as promised earlier, we are actually out here live in a growing popcorn farm. We talked to you a little bit about how tall popcorn can get, and as you can see behind me, we said it could get up to 8 feet tall, and there enough you can see it. As I was out here walking around, I actually got to pull a popcorn stalk out of the field, and you know, you can see here that all this popcorn is growing on here. Is that what we're looking at here? This is popcorn?
Well, that's not popcorn, Adam.
What?
That's not popcorn. This is popcorn.
What is this?
That's actually a soybean plant.
Oh, a soybean. Oh, good grief. I'm in the wrong field. So this is popcorn. Today we have a special guest. An actual Indiana-grown popcorn farmer right here in central Indiana, Amanda Baird. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about how her popcorn farm works today, and get some tips or tricks or pointers from her. So tell us, Amanda, a little bit about your popcorn farm.
Absolutely. Hi everyone. Thanks for having me. I hope you're having a great day. So we're out here in one of our popcorn fields. This field here is about 10 acres. And what's an acre? Well, think of the football field that you might have around your schools, and think of that as 1 acre. The popcorn we grow, you can see here, nice and yellow-orange color here, and this will turn into your favorite snack that you have at home.
Well, what do you like most about growing popcorn?
What we really like about growing popcorn is being able to show everyone, like yourself, what popcorn looks like. A lot of people think that popcorn is similar to sweet corn. So you eat sweet corn at home, love sweet corn in the garden, but that's actually comes from a different plant and is a different kind of corn. So we like to show people the popcorn here right on the ear, and you can actually take this ear of popcorn, put it in like a brown paper lunch sack in the microwave even, and it'll pop right off the ear.
Oh my goodness, right? Pop the whole ear right in the microwave,
Yes.
huh? Wow. You guys sell your popcorn?
Absolutely, great question. So you just saw the popcorn on the ear, but then we also take that popcorn and we sell it in kernels. So we take that cob of ear, and what we do is we shell it down. Then we have all the kernels here. So you might have seen this at the grocery store before, the kernels of popcorn. And we also pop up popcorn just like this, and we make different flavors for you. So this is our original sea salt. It's only the 3 ingredients of popcorn we grow: coconut oil and sea salt.
So we're looking around, Amanda. This field looks like it's pretty dry. How many days or how far out are we from actually harvesting this corn?
Yeah, great question. So with popcorn, we do want it to be a little bit more dry than the traditional field corn that we see as we see the combines going around on the roads. We will probably harvest this crop in about 2 weeks. So we're constantly out here checking, looking at those ears of corn and making sure the moisture is correct.
Yeah, we talked about that in the earlier video that, you know, they need it to be somewhere around 16 to 18% to harvest, and then gets dried down to about 14% to actually be the final product.
Yeah, we like to shoot for 13.5%.
13, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So final thoughts, any cool tricks or tips you have for these kids if they're interested in growing some popcorn? Or
Absolutely. Well, I think the one really unique thing about popcorn and what makes it different and allows it to pop is that there is actually a little pocket of moisture in each kernel. And when that gets heated up, that's what makes it explode from the inside out. So that's the really unique thing about popcorn. And if you are planting it in your garden, make sure that you're planting multiple rows of the corn so that it gets pollinated just the way you want it, so that you'll have the nice ears of popcorn. So what you're looking at here is a butterfly style popcorn. Now what does that mean? So as you see here, the way it pops, this is actually a butterfly variety. Now there's also a mushroom variety, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Mushroom variety pops up and looks like a little mushroom or a little puffball on the top of it, where this popcorn is spread out on the two sides and it's a butterfly popcorn.
you heard it right there, kids. We've talked about it, but you're hearing it right from the farmer's mouth today on how to make sure you can grow a nice popcorn crop and how to harvest it and the ways that you can use it. So definitely thank Amanda for allowing us out here into her popcorn field and sharing her expertise with us today.
Thank you.
Hello, boys and girls. We are so glad to be with you today. I'm Karen Crum, and I'm the 4-H educator here in the county. And today we're going to learn some fun facts about popcorn. So let's give the wheel a spin and we'll just see what we can learn. We microwave popcorn kernels to over blank degrees to get them to pop. If you said 400 degrees or over, you are absolutely right. It is over 400 degrees to get popcorn to pop in the microwave. Blank is the time period when popcorn seeds are usually planted. If you said in the spring, you are absolutely correct. Spring is the time period when popcorn is planted. True or false? Popcorn is one of America's favorite snacks. Does anybody have an idea if that is true or false? If you said true, that is absolutely correct. Popcorn is one of America's favorite snacks.
Hello everyone, my name is Esmeralda Cruz and I'm the Health and Human Sciences Educator for the Clinton County Purdue Extension Office. So today we're very excited to be talking to you about popcorn. And one of the reasons why we're very excited about talking to you about popcorn is because the state of Indiana, which is our home state, is actually one of the states that's a part of the Corn Belt. Being a part of the Corn Belt means that we are among the top 9 popcorn producing states in the nation. So that's very exciting. Now, for those of you that may not speak Spanish, the way we say popcorn in Spanish is palomitas. 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 So the book that we're going to be reading today, the title is The Popcorn Book, and it's by Tommy DiPaola. And it's a really neat book, so I hope that you all enjoy it. Make sure that you're listening carefully. And now, a word from our sponsor. Mom, can I make some popcorn? Yes, the popcorn's in the refrigerator. Yummy. I wonder why Mom keeps the popcorn in the refrigerator. I don't know. I'll look it up. Here it is. Popcorn is best stored in a tight jar in the refrigerator so the kernels keep their moisture. Boy, this is interesting. Listen. Popcorn is the oldest of the 3 main types of corn. There is field corn, which we feed to the animals like cattle and pigs, sweet corn, which is the kind that we eat, and popcorn. So we're actually going to be showing you those 3 types of popcorn in case you haven't seen them before. So this is the field corn, which we also know it as dent corn. As you can tell, the kernels are all very golden yellow. This is the sweet corn. So when you have a cookout and you make some sweet corn, this is the kind of corn that you're eating. If you notice, the kernels are white and they're also yellow. This is the popcorn. Amazing, right? I think a lot of us don't know that popcorn is actually grown in the fields. So if you can tell, the kernels are a little bit smaller and they're almost like an orangey brownish color. Now the other type of corn that's not mentioned in this book, but that we also have, is what we call flint corn. This kind of corn is primarily grown in Central and South America. And in Central and South America, they may use it for cooking. In the United States, we primarily use it for decorating. Now let's go ahead and continue with our book. Popcorn was discovered by Indian people in the Americas many thousands of years ago. One of the first sights Columbus saw in the New World was the Indians in San Salvador selling popcorn and wearing it as jewelry. So here he's going to start making the popcorn. So first I heat up the pan. But popcorn is even older than that. In a bat cave in New Mexico, archaeologists found some popped corn that was 5,600 years old. And 1,000-year-old popcorn kernels were found in Peru that could still be popped. Imagine that, 1,000 years later, and popcorn kernels that could still be popped. That's how well they hold their moisture. Now, a part of the cooking process, once the pan is hot, now the cooking oil is put into the pan. The Indian people of the Americas had many different ways to pop corn. One way was to put an ear of corn on a stick and hold it over fire. But you can see that that caused some issues. But many of the kernels were lost in the fire with this method. Another way was to throw the kernels right into the fire by the handful. The popcorn popped out all over the place, so there was a lot of bending and running around to gather it. Now, once your oil is hot as a part of the cooking process, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you throw in just a few kernels to make sure that it is hot enough so that you can cook the rest. Now, in 1612, French explorers saw some Iroquois people popping corn in clay pots. They would fill the pots with hot sand, throw in some popcorn, and stir it with a stick. When the corn popped, it came to the top of the sand, and it was very easy to get. So out of the 3 methods that we've seen so far, this was probably the most successful. The Iroquois people were fond of popcorn soup. Soup. I hope some of you like soup. Soup can be very yummy, especially during this time of year with the fall and the winter. The Algonquians who came to the first Thanksgiving dinner even brought some popcorn in their deerskin pouch. The colonists liked it so much that they served popped corn for breakfast with cream poured over it. Today, Americans use, get this, 500 million pounds of popcorn each year. 30% is eaten at the movies, the circuses, ball games, and county fairs. 10% is saved for seed and sold to other countries, but 60% is popped right at home. Now, let's go back to the cooking process. Oh goody, the kernels are popping. That means the oil must be ready. Now, people in the Midwest buy more popcorn than any other part of the United States. Milwaukee and Minneapolis are the top popcorn eating cities, followed by Chicago and Seattle. Most of the popcorn is grown in the Midwest too. Remember that corn belt that we talked about? Well, these states are also a part of the corn belt, meaning that they are top popcorn producing states in the country. Going back to the cooking process, now I'll put more kernels in the pan and turn the heat up. Now here's the part I read first. Popcorn is best stored in a tight jar in the refrigerator so the kernels keep their moisture. If kernels dry out, there will be too many old mates left at the bottom of the pan. Old mates are unpopped kernels. So you know when you put some popcorn in the refrigerator and you open up the baggie and sometimes you see these little kernels at the bottom? That means that probably the reason they didn't pop is because they didn't have enough moisture inside of them. Going back to the cooking process, it doesn't look like enough. If the popcorn dries out, you can add 1 or 2 tablespoons of water to the jar and shake it until the water is absorbed. Popcorn pops because the heart of the kernel is moist and bubbly, surrounded by a hard starch shell. When the kernel is heated, the moisture turns to the steam and the heart gets bigger until the shell bursts with a pop. Are you sure you didn't put too much popcorn in the pan? Of course not, silly. I think he dumped the whole jar in there, so we'll see what happens. The Indian people had a legend that inside each kernel of popcorn lived a little demon. When his house was heated, he got so mad that he blew up. There are different kinds of popcorn. White Hollis and yellow Hollis are ones most commonly sold in stores. The smallest type is called strawberry because it has red kernels and ears like little strawberries. Rainbow has red, white, yellow, and blue kernels. It is sometimes called calico. This is a black popcorn too, but it all pops white. The biggest kernels are called dynamite and snow puff. So he's shaking now the pan to make sure that the kernels start popping. After the popcorn is popped, most people like to put melted butter and salt on it. But if the salt is put on the pan before the kernels are popped, it makes the popcorn tough. So don't put the salt in there during the cooking process. Make sure that you wait until after it's done. There are many stories about popcorn. One of the funniest and best known comes from America's Midwest. One summer, it was hot and dry, and all the popcorn in the fields began to pop. In no time at all, the sky was filled with flying popcorn. It looked so much like a blizzard, everyone put their mittens and scarves and got outside to shovel the snow. Oh boy, look what happened. Help, I have a blizzard too. I knew you put too much popcorn in the pan. Okay, if you're so smart, what do we do now? I know. The best thing about popcorn is eating it. I hope you all enjoyed this book, and if you did, make sure you share it with your parents.
Hi, I'm Pat Burkhalter, the Clinton County Nutrition Education Program Assistant, and also the Clinton County Farm Bureau Community Education and Outreach Coordinator. What we're going to do today is, you've been learning about popcorn, we're going to make a healthy popcorn snack. So, and you'll all get copies of the recipe. I have 6 cups of popcorn. It is to be air-baked, but not very many people have air-baked popcorn poppers, and I did a microwave bag of popcorn. Then you can add a variety of other things. It calls for 2 cups of Chex cereal, and I happen to find chocolate Chex at the grocery store, so I'm adding 2 cups of that, 2 cups of toasted oat cereal. I refer to them as Cheerios. Then you can add 2 cups of pretzel bites. It calls for 2 cups of mini frosted mini wheats, but I'm not fond of those. So I have at home a mix of fruit, nuts, cranberries, raisins, walnuts that I'm going to add. Makes it a little more nutritious. Then we're going to mix this all together. Now, I also like to add something fun to it. So you can either add chocolate chips, or I'm making it more colorful, M&Ms. It calls for 2 cups, but I'm only going to go with a cup. Some of the other things you can add in is plain raisins. I have dried figs you could add in. And this would be our healthy Chex Mix. Something else you can do with popcorn is add seasonings to it. You can take instant chocolate pudding. You spray your popcorn in a bag with vegetable spray. You can use taco seasoning, which will be the easiest to open, so I'll get that one out. And sprinkle that on. And shake it around, and you have taco popcorn. You can use ranch dressing with it. Some of the other add-ins that I forgot to mention on this would be Teddy Grahams, or you can use just plain Chex cereal, or you can use whatever cereal you have at home. Now, this size of popcorn that I popped today is a family size. They also make individual size so that it's a healthy portion for you to eat. So this is a small bag and this is a large bag, but the same size. What you want to do is divide your popcorn trail mix into individual servings. So I would send a serving like this with my husband to work, but for me to carry with me, I will fill this little container, which will hold 1 cup. This will hold 2 cups. Thank you for watching me, and enjoy your trail mix.
How do you like your popcorn? Do you like it bathed in melted butter, kettle cooked with sugar and salt? Awesome book, right? Make sure to check out this book, Popcorn Country, America's Favorite Snack. This book is brought to you by Farm Bureau. This is their book of the year. Make sure to check it out at your local library. Hi, my name is Bethany Purley. I'm the program assistant right here at the Clinton County Purdue Extension Office. And we have one last activity to do with you guys today that you can take home and share with your parents about what you've learned about popcorn. All you're gonna need is, what is this? That's right, it's our ear of popcorn we've been talking about. So you can get this locally at one of the Central Indiana farms of popcorn that we have. And you also need, what's this? A fast food restaurant bag, a paper bag. So if you have one of these, we have one from Jimmy John's, or a brown paper bag, you can take your popcorn, put it right into that bag, and you're gonna fold it up, and you're gonna put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. And when you pull that bag out of the microwave, you will have popcorn right on the ear. Isn't that neat how that works? Make sure you tell your parents about this activity that you can try at home with them. On behalf of Clinton County Purdue Extension and Clinton County Farm Bureau, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come into your classroom today and talk to you about agriculture, which is around us every day. Today, we had the opportunity to talk about popcorn and how it comes from field to right in the bag for you to pop in your microwave. I hope you guys enjoyed our program today. On behalf of Farm Bureau, we would like to give each of you your own bag of popcorn to take home and try some of those delicious trail mixes that we talked about earlier in the video. Thank you guys so much for being a great audience, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!